When you look at infrastructure in Gwinnett County, infrastructure is more than water and roads. It includes airport facilities, buildings, and so forth. So if there's an opportunity to provide upgrades, if there's an opportunity to provide additional resources at Briscoe Field, then I think it's well worth the effort, particularly in this economic times that we're facing. I have a little bit different perspective on what infrastructure brings to a community, primarily that of economic development. I mean, that is, infrastructure, and the right kind of infrastructure drives economic development for a community. Well, the impact of modernization, privatization of the Briscoe Field, I think has a tremendous impact on economic development. When you're able to provide that kind of resource, that kind of transportation facility to your community, it opens up all sectors of development, whether it's new development, whether it is bringing in new technology into your community. The number of projects, the number of opportunities are endless. Political governance is the phrase that I use. When you have political governance, local government managing infrastructure, it's very rarely is it efficient. Very rarely. On the privatized side, you are telling that privatized firm, I need to have this accomplished within this period of time. So you're setting benchmarks, you're setting performance measures. How often do you have benchmarks and performance measures in a local government setting with politicians overseeing the projects? It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. So there's an incentive there for the privatized firms to provide a very excellent product, and if they don't provide that product, then they're kicked out. If the public can receive a benefit with little or no taxpayer money going into it, then what's the downside to that? There is very little downside. Yes, no is a very easy thing to say, but as an engineer, if somebody tells me no, then I'm going to ask the question, why? I'm going to ask the question, well, why is there a no to this? I want to have the facts before me. I need to have the resources before me to make an informed decision. So saying no from an engineering perspective doesn't do much for me. Think about all the individuals, companies that want to develop, want to expand in a particular community. These are corporate folks, the larger companies that want to provide a product, a service to a community. Particularly if they're out of town, how do they get there? Do they go directly to Hartsfield and then travel up to 2 hours during certain hours of the day, or can they access the region that they want to be in, North Georgia, Gwinnett County, Barrow County, etc.? Can they get there a lot sooner? Time means money to the private sector. What are the benefits from a housing standpoint, from a transportation standpoint? Well, transportation, roads as an example. If there's development that increases because you have a modernized airport, would that not generate interest from the private sector to build in that area? I would think it would. You have a higher commercial tax base, which is less of an impact to the residential community. You have transportation improvements that benefit the entire community, transportation projects that feed to that modern airport. So I think the wins, the positives, outweigh the negatives. When you have an economy like we have, you have to be bold, and you have to be creative. Gwinnett County has always been bold and creative, as long as my family and I have been living here 26 years. And so now's the time to pick that up. Now's the time to be bold and very creative to jumpstart the economy in Gwinnett County. A project of this magnitude, whether it is a regional mall, whether it is an expanded, or I should say modernized airport, has a great impact beyond just the boundaries of Gwinnett County. Any county that is joining to this facility will have a positive effect. I mean, spillover, I think, is tremendous. This makes sense.